Hey there guys, this is Reckles with WTBGold, and a couple of days ago someone in stream said that Inscription was a bad profession. Now, I strongly disagree, and this vid's gonna show you why Inscription is actually the best profession. Since we're talking about profit here, it's gonna be in two parts. First, we're gonna look at costs, answering the old question, which herbs should I mill for Inscription? Second part's gonna look at sales, and there we're gonna drill down into all the available glyphs, break things apart, and hopefully learn some neat stuff from them. Alright, on to the mill test. I actually just spent 3 million gold on WoW tokens to buy Hearthstone and the Diablo expansions, so I'm actually kind of awkwardly broke right now, but that just means we can farm up the herbs ourselves, and everything's gonna be pure profit. Woo! So, for that, I went out to all the routes I listed in my How to Farm Everything in Legion video. I'll put a link to that on the screen. And in a couple of hours, it was pretty quick, gathered 1,000 of each herb, milled everything down, and recorded the results. Granted, this isn't a massive test, but 200 mils of each herb will give us statistically significant results, so we'll be able to draw some conclusions from them. So, let's go in alphabetical order. We'll start with Aethrol. 1,000 of these herbs milled down into 33 sallow pigment, 418 roseate, and 43 Euceroline seeds. Now, I'm assuming you're going to be milling the Euceroline seeds down into pigments also, and so I'm going to do that, but we need to know how many pigments to add on average. So, fast forward to a secondary test we did where I milled down 5,000 Euceroline seeds, and from there I got 1 roseate pigment for every mill, and 1 sallow pigment about every 60 mils. So this is interesting by itself because sallow pigment usually sells for about 50 times what roseate does. And most people estimate seed value based on 1/5 roseate prices. So blah, blah, blah. All this means is seeds are actually worth about double what most people estimate they are. All right, so back to Aethrol. Include seed results, do a little math, and each Aethrol herb gives 3.3% sallow and 43% roseate. At current global median prices, you're gonna break even with Aethrol. And now that we've explained everything, the mindset and how we're gonna do the tests, we'll just speed things up. I'm just gonna be listing results like that. So, for Dreamleaf, I farmed up my little nightmare rooters by Emerald Nightmare, even found a bot while I was out there. With Dreamleaf, you get little bonus nightmare pods whenever you mill them, and these can contain pigments, seeds, or have a 10% chance of giving an additional nightmare pod. So occasionally you'll have this fun podception, like pods and pods on pods. But accounting for all of that, each Dreamleaf herb is worth 11% of a sallow pigment and 50% of a roseate pigment. At current prices, this gives 130% return. The pigments, everything milled down, is worth double what the herbs are. And by the end of this video, you'll know why you should be willing to pay up to 60 gold per Dreamleaf and still be profitable. Alright, on to Foxflower. I've expanded my server hop route from just the little Murloc area to the entire northern coast. We have the gear now, so it's fine. The unique thing about Foxflower is that it gives us 5 times the Euceroline seeds as a normal herb. So if you need seeds, go farm Foxflower. But milling it all down, Foxflower gave us 3.8% sallow and 48% roseate. These are actually about the same results as Aethrol, but Foxflower costs more. So farm it up, don't buy it. Fraggle Rock was pretty nice, gave us 5.5% sallow and 51% roseate. As you can see, all these base herbs give us about 50% roseate pigment. The only thing that changes is how much sallow, and they're still all 3 to 6% there. As far as price goes, Fraggle Rock breaks even since it does have that extra 2% sallow in there. Starlight Rose was a pain to farm, but gave us 3.6% sallow, so the normal amount, but also 120% roseate. It's overpriced, but That is a lot of pigment. And I wasn't able to test Felwort for obvious gold-related reasons, but Zionic and Shiro did, and Blizzard changed the mill numbers around, so I'm not 100% sure if their test is still accurate. But based on their spreadsheet, which I'll link to you down in the description, you can expect 213% sallow and 43% roseate. So more than 2 sallow per herb. If you need sallow, this is what you get. So that's the cost. Now we're doing sales. Here's a spreadsheet I put together of all the materials, crafting costs, and profits for every glyph. And there's so much that I learned putting this together. I really want to go into it all, but I'll whittle it down for you. First, there aren't 674 glyphs anymore, just 99. If you want to know why they changed it and you're new to the profession, just imagine crafting 2 of every glyph when there are 674 of them. And then imagine, because Inscription's competitive, you have to repost those 1,300 glyphs 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah, it was a pain. Ask down in the comments section. People will share some horror stories with you. Beyond that, about half of the glyphs that are available today use Legion materials. And that ratio is pretty consistent, but it does vary by class. So priests only have 1 Legion glyph. Demon hunters use entirely Legion glyphs. And for the Legion glyphs, each class has its own unique, like, sallow to roseate ratio. But by that I mean warlock glyphs are the most expensive at 15 sallow and 60 roseate each per glyph. Paladins are the cheapest at 2 sallow and 70 roseate. There is one outlier. Monk glyphs all use 4 sallow and 60 roseate, except for the glyph of crackling ox lightning, which uses 2 and 70. Blizzard, come on now, that's the paladin ratio. I'm not mad, Blizzard. I'm just disappointed. All right, for every other non-Legion ink, there are 5-ish glyphs. So, except for Ethereal, actually, which only has 2 glyphs. If you're an herbalist, everything's gonna sell for about the same, except for Burning Crusade herbs, which don't really have a use in Inscription. And lastly on this, the most important thing, in order to craft 1 of every glyph, you're gonna need 493 sallow and 2015 roseate. If you have a scribe, that's just a number you should learn. All right, gold. Most of the researchable glyphs are selling at about 50 to 100% profit, which is great because that's based on ink price, and we're already doubling our money by getting that ink from Dreamleaf. 130% returns just on Dreamleaf. But the real money comes from the gated glyphs, you know, the ones where the recipe comes from a random drop from killing Legion elementals, that kind of stuff. Those sell for 3, 4, 5 times the ink value. And because you don't have competition, you're probably gonna sell them faster. So if you have a scribe, make an effort this week to farm up all the glyph recipes in the game that you don't have. Go through your unlearned tab one by one, and you'll be able to take 1,000 gold worth of herbs and turn that into a 10,000 gold glyph. The most profitable profession in WoW! So let's put it all together in a nutshell. If you just need sallow pigment, buy Felwort, it's profitable, you'll make gold. If you just need roseate pigment, farm Starlight Rose, but don't buy it because it's overpriced. If you just need Ysareline seeds, farm up Foxflower, but again, don't buy it, and you probably don't need Ysareline seeds. And if you're trying to make glyphs, if you're trying to make 1 of every glyph, you'll need 493 sallow and 2015 roseate. To get that, your best return on investment is going to be with 4,300 Dreamleaf. That'll cost you 53k, and the glyphs will sell for 230k. And finally, if Dreamleaf is as expensive on your server or whatever, your second best option is to buy 130 Felwort and 3,900 Fraggle Rock. The gold values are going to change as the expansion rolls on, but hopefully you can come back to this video if you ever need to refresh yourself on any of these ratios I listed here, any of the stats, or shoot, buy a couple thousand herbs, do your own test, and give me the results in the comments. We want to learn. Let's learn from each other. I hope you liked the video. Hit the like button if you learned something here. Hit the subscribe button on your screen if you want to see future videos. And that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy gold making.